What is up, my friends? How are you guys doing? Welcome back. Thanks for stopping in again. I hope everybody's having a great day. I know it feels good outside here, so I'm going to be enjoying a little bit of the outdoors later. But guys, today we're talking about a movie from 1971. But before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button. Today, we're talking about a movie. I just watched this on TV yesterday, okay? I don't think it's streaming anywhere I look to see, and I don't see it. You can't even buy this sucker on a digital platform. You can't buy it on a DVD. Bet you can't even buy it on a VHS if you could find one back in the day. This was a little film called The Mephisto Waltz, directed by Paul Windkos. Guys, this stars Alan Alda, okay? And for any of you youngsters who don't know who Alan Alda is, he is Hawkeye Pierce from MASH. And for any of you who don't know who MASH is, look it up. Chat GPT it, ask it what MASH is, and it'll give you the breakdown. It was a movie, then it became a TV show. Alan Alda was in the TV show. One of the best TV shows ever made. Love MASH. So it is with great joy that I watched him in the Mephisto Waltz, because you don't really see Alan Alda's kind of one of those like Andy Griffith kind of characters where you've seen him in just a couple of things. He's been typecast as the kind of sarcastic, whimsical, kind of just, practical joker surgeon in MASH. He's been kind of just cast, and that's kind of what his characters have always been that I've seen, was the wisecracking, kind of off-the-cuff dude. So to see him in this film, The Mephisto Waltz, where he is basically, he starts off as a kind of a humble, shy music journalist, and later in the film, he becomes kind of a pretentious, self-righteous concert pianist. But we'll get to that. What I was getting at was he's able to switch seamlessly from humble, shy to pretentious butthole in the snap of a finger. So, I thought that was really, really telling of his acting and his range. And we've got the beautiful Jacqueline Bisset in this. She plays his wife, and she is excellent as, she, kind of his grounding agent. She keeps him grounded. She tries to keep him, from losing himself to this group of people he has befriended. So, really, what the movie's about is there's an aging Satanist, because it's the Mephisto Waltz, right? So there's an aging Satanist who wants to basically, he befriends Alan Alda's character, and he's kind of on his way out, and he wants to transfer his soul into Alan Alda's body. And, in most horror movies with that kind of plot or premise, there's a moment where they either stop him, and that's kind of your climax of the movie, is like, no, don't change souls with that man. And then there's the moment where he succeeds, and then we have to see what happens after that. And there's a lot of times it takes that first action. It takes that, oh no, we've got to stop him, and that's the point of your movie. But this, I loved the fact that it happens. Halfway through the movie, our Satanist dies. He transfers his soul into Alan Alda, and that is when Alan Alda's acting really shows. But it's when he switches from humble to the kind of, ruthless, pretentious, self-righteous concert pianist, Satanist, whatever he was. And the rest of our movie is basically his wife trying to come to terms with what happened to him and figure out why he has changed so much and why he is the way he is now. And that, to me, was a far better story to watch and to participate in, to be engaged in, than your typical, oh, let's stop them from possessing him kind of film. I felt like this had more meat and potatoes. This had kind of a grittier subject matter to it. I mean, now I'm watching it on regular television, guys. This is 1971. There's a few scenes with some booby shaking and stuff like that, and they edited it out, edited it out. I can't say it right. They took that out. They blurred it. So cool. Good for them. But what I'm getting at is, if it was not edited, there's a lot in this film that I guess would be considered risque for the time, like orgies and not like not 2000s orgies where you're like, oh my God, not Requiem from a Dream orgies, but, 1970s topless chicks rubbing on topless dudes kind of thing. So it was kind of risque for then, and then we have an essay, kind of almost an essay moment that seems kind of forceful, and you're like, oh, you're pushing your boundaries there, Mr. Mr. Winkos. You're pushing your boundaries with what you're able to get away with. But I think that all that accentuated the film to give it that deeper, more gritty feel to it than your typical 1970s horror film, I mean, let's look at The Exorcist. I think that, I don't remember if that was before or after this, but I mean, it had better special effects, but it dealt with kind of the same thing, the possession, but in a more special effects heavy way. This deals with it in a more psychological way, which I thought was really cool. Again, the storytelling in this is really good. I enjoyed the story being told because it didn't seem contrived or cliche or like I'd seen it all before. It felt good. It felt original. It felt unique. I enjoyed it. And like I said, I enjoyed Alan Alda in it more than anything. I thought that his acting was spot on. His chemistry with Jacqueline Bisset was fantastic. He really is a kind of jack of all trades in film. And I need to find more of his films, actually. I need to go on an Alan Alda deep dive to see what else his abilities are, to see his other performances, because I really liked him in this. And like I said, this was one of the first films I've ever seen him in where he was still young enough to be Hawkeye Pierce from MASH, because when I see Alan Alda at my age, he's an old man. Even when I was growing up and he was in movies, he was an old man, gray hair, kind of thin, pale. And so it's interesting to see him in his prime, in his youth, as, his ability to act. And I thought that was awesome. I loved that. So yeah, guys, if you want to check out the Mephisto Waltz, I guess you're going to have to look on your local movie channels, and hopefully it comes on. My movie channels has Chiller February, so they're showing horror movies, and that just happened to be one of them I caught. Never seen it, like I said. So if you can find it, check it out. If not, I'm sorry. It's great, and I wish you could see it. But that's it for the Mephisto Waltz, guys. It gets 2 thumbs up. Check it out if you can find it. And as always, hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, my friends. And I am going to keep making them as long as you guys keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you. And I will see you soon.